Okay. All right. I think we're good. We are good, people. We are good. Okay. Yeah. Welcome. There was some technical difficulties getting to this live stream, but I am here. We are here. Thank you so much for being here. Um, yeah, happy new moon. It is currently January 2026, and this is the 2026 numerology reading and intuitive reading for the year. So, if you don't know me, my name is Tiara, the spiritual Valkyrie with Queens with Lit Dreams. I am your psychic transformation specialist, and I'm here to give you your reading for the year, the forecast for this year of 2026. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope January has been decent for you. There's been a lot of energy going on, a lot of things happening here during this time. And so if you're with me, thank you so much. I did have to change some things in the settings and restart this whole live. So we're going to just get things started. And before I do get started, I do want to make sure you know that we do have the 2026 Essence of Alignment wall calendar that is available in my link at queenswillitdreams.com, or you can go to bio.queenswillitdreams.com and get your calendar. They come in 2 different sizes. You can see I have one sitting up here, and it is this is the larger 14 by 11.5, and this is the 8.5 by 11.5 calendar. So they come in matte and glossy, and it's literally a calendar that is going to literally give you the insight of each month, the energy of each month, and then what you need to do and questions you need to ask yourself in order to walk with intention and in alignment in 2026. So this is going to be a really great tool for you to use throughout the year, and I hope it's a blessing for every single person who gets it. And so if you want to get it, go ahead and click the link. I'll leave it down here below, and you can access that there. So let's talk a little bit about 2026 and how this is showing up for everybody this year. Let's get to the numerology first. So when we look at numerology, and if you don't know what numerology is, this is more about speaking about the energy behind numbers and how it shows up for you and the universe through the energy of the numbers. Okay, so we can use numerology to look at our life path. We look at our strengths, our weaknesses, things that happen to our past, what we can expect in our future, what is currently going on in the present, and how to navigate that energy. Okay, so with numerology, we want to look at the year of 2026. 2026 is 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, which equals 10. Okay, now usually a lot of numerologists will just reduce that down to 1 because 0 plus 1 is 1. So we will look at it and it's a universal 1 year. However, I do want to bring attention to the fact that this is also going to be a 10 universal year instead of just a 1. So we can look at it as both 10 universal year and 1 universal year. And I only am going to say this because it adds up to 10. Whereas when we look at 2017, that added up to 1. And this is adding up to 10, and 1 is an absolute number. So we're looking at the energy of both 1 and 10. And I'm only going to do that because that's where we're heading down that direction. And I think it'll be really good to kind of give you a glimpse of what the 1 energy is looking like and the 10 energy. However, my calendar is going to be based off of the 1 energy, okay? Because this is what we're looking at. Now, this is important because we go through 9-year cycles, okay? So we go through 9-year cycles, 9 years, 9 months, when we look at our energy and the cycles that we go through is going through the energy of the 9, okay? So last year, as in 2025, was the 9 universal year. That was the peak year. That was the end of the cycle. That was, and you can check out my video from 2025, see if that even resonates with you at all. but that was the year that we were ending that cycle. Now, if you don't understand some of this, like the numbers have energy and they have an energetic signature. So you're gonna find that every number will have its own signature. You're going to feel it a little differently, which is why the calendar is going to be really important, because it gives you the energy of each month. Every month has a different signature, energetic signature. Okay. Now, if we look at 2026, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, that equals 10. But we look at the number 2, we look at the number 0, the number 2 and the number 6, and how each of those numbers impact and influence each other. Okay. So excuse me. So you'll find that in 2026, because we're in a universal 1 year or universal 10 year, this is the beginning of a new cycle, the beginning of, what it is that is going to start transpiring for the next 8-9 years. Okay. So and I say this because 9 was about releasing. 9 was about, getting, closing out old cycles, closing things out. It was also just about, how things were going to be impacting the world on a larger scale. So if we're going to look at the universal energy, we're looking at how this is impacting us on a larger scale. Okay. You're going to find that with this one energy, it is a lot about integration and integrating the physical changes that have taken place in the 9 year into this new cycle of this 1 year, okay, or the 10 year. 10 can be a lot about like karmic release and karmic endings. But the one energy is really about how we actually start identifying with ourselves. You're gonna see a lot this year with like ego, new endeavors, new directions, new things that we're really trying to focus on. You're going to start seeing like a sense of newness, but with the integration of what has taken place. The one thing I am going to say about this year is that the 9 energy, if you were not releasing enough during that time, whatever you didn't release, you're going to be releasing in the 1 year. Because at this point, whatever isn't fitting in the cycle isn't going to go in the cycle either. So you're still going to be releasing things, but that's also part of the integration process. Okay, so I look at the 2 energy because 2 is very intuitive. 2 is very sensitive. It's also about collaboration. It's about partnerships. 2 and the 0 is about infinite possibilities. And it's really, 0 goes really in depth with the spiritual components of life. Okay, life after death, life after, spirituality. Like there's a really strong spiritual component with the 0, and we don't want to ignore that when we look at 2026. And then there's 2 again, that is about patience. That's also about the collaboration and spiritual energy. It's intuitive. It's about going with your gut, but also connecting with other people and working in collaborations, working in coexisting in harmony with people. Then we have the energy of the 6. Okay, so we have been dealing with the 202 energy since 2020. Okay, but every year had a different signature with 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. So like the 2020s are giving you a different energy every single time. So now that we're with the 2026, we want to look at the 6 energy. And 6 is all about creation. Okay, it's about creation. It's about balance, and it's about really working in alignment with your work life, your home life. On a universal scale, it's about how we really balance the scales out at this point. And it's ironic that this comes after 2025, which is a universal 9 year. And whereas like the 9 energy was very much on a larger scale of things that were happening, but the 6 energy, as far as 2026 goes and working in the universal 1 year, that 6 energy that's in 2026 is really going to test and challenge your ability and capacity to show up for others and be able to really balance out how you show up in the universal energy of the world, the collective, and in your personal life with your relationships, your personal relationships, your home life, and like look at yourself from a larger scale, but your capacity to show up for other people should be there in a sense. And that means we should also be extending a lot more compassion for other people and showing up in that way. Now, I am going to say this because this is all like together. We're looking at two energies, like the 2, the 0, well, 3, the 2, the 0, and the 6. Okay, those three energies are really going to be focusing on people in the collective, in our connections, and our love, and our heart center, and our balance, and it's going to really start paying forward that energy. I really think it's going to be interesting to see how this shows up for a lot of people on a collective scale, because on a spiritual level, we are really seeking and searching out a new wave of living life. We are not identifying with the old cycle, and that's what's happening right now. So you're going to see it on a political scale. You're going to see it on personal, in your personal life. You're going to see it in multiple different ways. And so I think we are going to, let's see, I'm going to look at this. I want to make sure we're good. Okay. So yeah, I think it's going to be a year of newness, and we're going to see it in the different directions. Okay. So I did take a few notes. Around the year, and when I was channeling some of the messages, it was just like, oh, so many things are going to be happening. So let's see. Yeah, so here were some of the messages that I want to share with y'all about what I was picking up on. So when I created the Essence of Alignment wall calendar. This is the third calendar, by the way. When I was creating this, I always have to channel the overall message of the year before I really get into the individual month energies. Okay, so when that happens, you're going to see that every month has its own different energy, and we're going to talk about that. But when I looked at the full overall energy of it, this is what some of the things that like came up. Okay, we talked about the 2 energy, we talked about the 6 energy, and all of that stuff. So the one thing that I'm going to say for this year you're going to need is to, got my hair doing all types of stuff, but the one thing you're going to have to follow along with is like creating balance for yourself. Balance. I don't know how you feel about 2026 so far, but I know that it's requiring us to balance our life out. A lot of people are experiencing physical shifts. The number 1 is a physical number. It is the number of ego. It's the number of leadership. It's the number of alignment. It's the number that, it's an expression number of your physical self. And so you'll see that there's going to be a lot of like physical things happening, a lot of physical shifts, whether that's going to be physically with people, physically with your personal self, physically in the world. You're going to see a lot of physical changes, and a lot of that, especially in the times that we're in right now, is happening. And a lot of people are going to shift and really stop identifying with the old regime. Okay, and this could be a breakdown. That's what I'm saying. Whatever doesn't align and didn't align, and we didn't make those decisions that we needed to make last year, it's gonna come through this year. Okay, so excuse me. So one of the things, like I said, balance is going to be key. Why is my hair doing whatever it wants to do? Okay, balance is going to be key this year. That is the key on in like how you walk in alignment this year. Okay, alignment requires you to have balance. Okay, if you are not balanced, you will not be in alignment. Okay, that is the biggest thing, and you'll know when you are experiencing balance in that sense. Okay, so we're gonna pull a few cards, but I wanted to show another theme that was going to be coming up this this year is like opportunity. Okay, the 1 is the door opener. Okay, it's the opening of a new cycle. So there's going to be opportunities for abundance, there's going to be opportunities for leadership, there's going to be opportunities for you to really start like buckling down and start planting those seeds that you want to plant. So a lot of times it was a lot of thinking about what you want to do in a 9-year to start off a new cycle, but now this is an action year, so you're going to be taking a lot more action in your endeavors and things that you want to do. So I am going to say this: one is the energy of working in your physical life and manifestation, but you have to be mindful of what seeds you're planting mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in order for physically things to match what you're going through internally. That's why a lot of people's frequency is shifting. That's why a lot of people may be feeling sick. A lot of people may be getting like weird physical things happening to them simply because they're shifting frequencies. Your frequency has to move, it has to shift in order for you to bring in the newness that the 1 is trying to bring in for you. That also requires you to operate on a different mindset, or in a different mindset, in a different frequency, in a different way of alignment. Okay, so if you're experiencing some illnesses in the beginning, in the first half of this year, it is more so because your body's trying to shift and become more aligned with the spiritual growth that is supposed to be taking place. Okay, you're going to start seeing that there is a lot more let me just put it this way. In numerology, if you're going to look at the numbers and you're going to look at the energy, you have to look at the positive and the negative. It's when you're in alignment with the energy of the numbers and when you're pushing against it, pushing against the energy of the numbers. That's what's really going to happen. So if you're going to find yourself being in alignment, you're going to have to move with the energy. Okay, so notice that this year is going to call for you to put action towards the things that you're really working towards. Okay, put the money where your mouth is. Okay, like put action towards what it is that you're trying to bring about in this new year. Okay, 2026 is also calling attention to the fact that although the 1 is really about the self and really honing in on yourself, the 2, the 0, the 2, and the 6 energy is very much about other people. It's very much about how you connect and how you coexist in harmony with people around you, with your community, with your partnerships. So like this isn't really a place and time for you to be working and going about it alone. Okay, it's not a time for you to go about it alone. It's not a time for you to, like just be like, it's about me, because the 1 energy can make you do that. Okay, and you'll see it on a larger scale where the 1 energy is making people who are in higher places focus on what they actually want versus what's best for the collective. This is where the contrast happens. You have the 2 and the 6 energy of 2026 really helping you focus on like how you can create harmony and balance and alignment within a collective, but then that it equals 1 and it equals 10, and 10 is all about like karmic connections. It's all about karmic releasing. It's all about adaptability. 10 is about adaptability. So then you have 1, and that really is about the physical expression of ego. That's the physical expression of leadership. That's the physical expression of paving a new path. So in the midst of all of this energy, and it could be a little confusing sometimes, in the midst of all of this energy, it is extremely important for you to focus on what you can create for yourself and how it impacts the collective. That's what I'm going to go with that. You're just going to be called to lock in at this point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards. We're going to pull cards for the quarters of this year. Okay, we're going to look at each quarter. So we're looking at the first quarter of the year. We're going to pull some cards and call in our angels and guides and just be like, you know what, if you got something here, you just let me know. Okay, so we're looking at the first quarter of 2026, and that means we're starting this month with the universal 2-month, 3-month, and 4-month. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. sensitive energy this month. That's why exactly why it's happening, like in a sense of not really trying to. I mean, a lot of people are having physical shifts happening this month. So the first 3 months of the year. So during this first quarter of the month, we got the number 28, which is don't run from darkness, embrace the shadow side. What aspect of yourself have you been afraid to look at or address? Boom. I mean, you can't make that one up. And I say that it's very sensitive. Like the second card, we got number 19. Eliminate distractions. Stop shining light on things you are not. How can you reclaim your power? Okay. And this is my inner peace, unshakable inner peace deck. So we can look. I'll link it in the description. And then number 43. Rest, renew, recharge. What does your body crave and need right now? So for this first quarter, and this is what I'm getting overall, for the first quarter of this year, it's really about going inward and really working on your shadow work. Okay, the 2 energy of of January, that is requiring patience. It's requiring you to really go inward and look at some of the shadow aspects of yourself, so that you can really start planting the seeds and watering and nourishing it without having a tainted energy. A lot of this time, especially because we're in the one energy, we really want to focus, I mean, like the one universal year, we really want to focus on what we're thinking about ourselves, what we are manifesting in our lives. Like this is going to be a time that is required for us to be mindful of what it is we're bringing into our physical manifestations. Okay. So they're asking you to stop shining light on things that you're not. It's distracting you. You have to eliminate distractions. You have to move in alignment of what it is that you need. Okay. And also just get some rest. Rest, renew, recharge. A lot of people, like I said, are experiencing physical changes at this moment. So you may be feeling sick. You may be feeling like, what the heck is going on? Your body is maybe shutting down a little bit, but it's asking you and calling you and requiring you to shift your frequency, and your body has to catch up to it. Okay. So with us starting the year in the 2 universal month of January, it is going to like show up as in, I need to let my physical body catch up to all the my spiritual body catch up to all the physical changes, and that happens when your body starts to shift. Okay, so you need to pay attention to what your body is craving right now. What is it that you're really experiencing, and what is it that your body wants? Sometimes your body wants to just be around water. Your body wants to, like work out. So your body wants to rest. Your body wants to sleep. Like whatever it is, check in with yourself and go from there. Okay. And then let's get an overall like theme for that, overall message for the first quarter. The first quarter of 2026, which is the number 11, which is individuality. Okay, so we have individuality. This card is going to be calling you to really start focusing on your individuality. What makes you different? What makes you stand out? What makes you call yourself back to yourself? What path are you about to take? Because now this is the time to really kind of go down your own path. This isn't the time to, and like I said, not that you don't need any people, because we do need people. We do need our community. We do need the collective. But you need to figure out what it is that you're going to be doing for yourself. And you need to figure out exactly how you step into your own individuality without the requirement of dependence on other people and their approval. Okay? Stand on your own 2 feet. I know I talked about it in 2025's forecast. I was saying, like, who you are at the beginning of this year is not going to be who you are at the end of the year. Super cliche type stuff. However, I really went down and it was like, how you identify at the beginning of 2025 versus how you identify at the end of it is going to shift. You're not even going to agree to the same things you agreed with. Your contracts are going to be voided at that point. And that's what this one energy is starting to bring through, because the stuff that you did not agree with and now you're shifting an identity, you're going to have to stand on business in that. So in the midst of you taking some rest and really focusing on who you are and where you want to be and what you're trying to do, you're going to need to focus on your own individual space and your own individuality and how you show up in the world. Okay, that's just the reality behind it. That's just what it's going to be. So the first quarter of this year, I really want you to focus on your individuality and being able to embrace your shadow self and align your frequency with your body, and allow that to like show up for each other. Okay. um Take care of yourself, make sure you're resting, make sure you're taking care of your body, because you're not going to be able to do anything if you don't do that. Okay. So that's the first quarter of 2024. I mean, sorry, 2026. My bad, guys. um and let's see, let's look at the second quarter of the year. Second quarter of the year. Let's see. All right, let's see. Okay. So we have, let's put this back. All right. So we have the second quarter of the year. So we have April, May, June. April, May, June. So then we have the universal 5, 6, and 7 months. April, May, June. Let's see. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting month. Okay. Guys, let's get some messages for the second quarter of 2026. April, May, and June. Let's do April. Oh, there's April. May. Oh, okay. They just wanted to pop out. We got May, and then we have June. All right. So, all right. April, May, June, second quarter of the year. Okay. What we're going to start seeing is that April is the universal 5 month. Sorry. April is a 5 month. May is a 6 month, and June is a 7 month. So for these messages for the second quarter of the year, we got the number 24, which is anxiety isn't trying to limit you, but free you from a situation that no longer feels good. What is your discomfort trying to free you from? This is the card for we going into the first quarter now. Second quarter. Now, how I'm looking at this is like, because we are in the five universal months, 5, 6, 7 of April, you're going to start seeing that 5 is not about keeping you in the box. The 4 is about, sticking what's in your box, like consolidating whatever doesn't fit in your box needs to be released. Whatever you do, like how it is really being in your energy. Okay. Now, when you move into the 5 energy, especially during one universal year, that is going to really start showing up on how you break free from some of these things. So that anxiety that you may be feeling, because you probably will feel it during a 5 month, it is going to bring you some anxiety because your heart is actually wanting to break free of some things that are no longer aligned with you. So this is asking you to like really pay attention to what's coming up for you and emotionally, and what that anxiety may be bringing up and how it's trying to release you from something that you no longer align with. Remember, I told you the 1 year is going to be a time where if you didn't release some things last year, you're going to have to continue to release it this year. Okay? So don't shy away from that. Embrace it. Take it in. The 5 is about breaking free. It's about freedom. It's about change. It's about shift. It's about shifting from the heart space. So it's going to really bring up some of those things. The next card I got was the number 27, which is universe. The universe rewards motion. What guided action can you take today? Now, when this card comes up, it's really it's a good energy, because now here's a 6 energy for May. And that is about when you get the message of like the universe rewards motion is really telling you that it doesn't matter what you like, what you're thinking. I mean, it does matter what you're thinking, but like, it doesn't matter if you're thinking something. If you're not actually doing it, it's not going to work. Okay. Oh, hi, Yoka. So yeah, like if you're not doing the work, it's not going to actually work. Okay, so the universe is actually wanting to co-create with you. Remember, sixth energy is about creation. It's about how you balance things out. And in the space of creation, you can create a lot. So you're going to be reminded to take action. Use this to your advantage. Use this energy to your advantage. But you're going to be needed to take action. You're going to need to really be intentional about what you're doing, and then make decisions to align in a higher state, in a higher space. Okay. So the little things you do actually makes a big impact. So what guided action can you take today? That is what that energy is calling in for the sixth energy. And then the last card I got was the number 13, which is breathe. This moment matters most. How can you focus on the moment and appreciate all that is well? And this is the card that I got. How can you appreciate the moment? Okay. How can you appreciate and focus on the moment and appreciate that all is well? Okay. So the 7 energy is going to call you to come back in. It's going to call you to come and become introspective and reflective. And so by the time the universal 7 month comes around in June, you're going to be needing to rest a little bit more and go back in, and also be very appreciative of where you are and how far you've come. Okay. This is where because I'm getting a lot of like anxiety maybe coming up for a lot of people during this time, and it's not something I take lightly. But this is going to be like a moment of needing to trust, a moment of needing to align and really focus on how to navigate the stronger energies that are showing up for you. Okay. The 7 energy is going to require you to revisit some things, and look at how it's all going to show up for you in the long run. Okay. So, yeah, breathe, maybe even doing some breathing exercises during this time, and really focusing on like your gratitude for how things are already just going to be in alignment and showing up for you. Okay. You're doing the good work. So let's look at an overall message for the second quarter of 2026. Overall message. Well, I got 2 overall messages. Okay. So we got the number 81, which is leadership. And then the number 7, which is personal growth. So with these 2 cards coming out, the overall messages for here is really focusing on like how you become the leader of your life. How do you take the driver's seat? This is the one energy, like I said, it's a number that is like paving the way, paving the path that doesn't really necessarily exist quite yet. So you're going to have to take a leadership role in your life, and also a leadership role in your community in a sense. Okay. So how are you going to stand up for yourself? How are you going to utilize this time and energy to really shift your focus, shift yourself into, because like notice how in the first quarter we had number 11, which is individuality, and the second quarter we got 81 and 7, which is leadership and personal growth. So personal growth is really, again, that's that 7 energy that we're going to be coming into in June. So like that personal growth is going to be very crucial in how you develop and how you shift your energy, like, because you're not supposed to be the same person. You're actually not supposed to be the same person at all. So how are you shifting? How are you moving? How are you developing? And also, how are you taking the driver's seat of your own car? Okay. How are you sitting in it? How are you maneuvering? How are you doing these things? Okay. So it can be a lot of like anxiety that may show up. It can be a lot of uncertainty that may come around this time. But the guys are asking you to really hone in on what's going well for you, how you're breathing, how you're aligning with your body. Your body is going to tell you everything this year. I promise you. Your body is going to share with you everything that is coming up for you right at this time. Okay, so don't ignore it. Do not focus on like, oh, it's gonna be okay, this is and that. No, your body's gonna tell you it's not okay. It is not okay. So or it is gonna tell you like, yeah, it is okay. um so yeah, that's the second quarter of 2026. Let's move on to the third quarter of 2026, and that is going to be our universal 8, 9, and 1 months. 8, 9, and 1 months. Oh my gosh. Oh man, third quarter of the year I can already feel is going to be like all types of stuff happening. But that's July, August, and September. Okay. July, August, and September. And by the way, September is this the cover of our of the calendar, of the Essence of Alignment calendar. So September is going to be a pivotal month. Okay, so let's look at it. Quarter 3 for 20. Okay, let's try that again. Quarter 3 for 2026. Any messages for quarter 3? Let's do the. Oh, well, that one came out. Let's say hello. Wait a minute. Quarter 3. Quarter 3 for 2026. Let's get 2 more. Quarter 3 for 2026. 2 more messages for me, please. Quarter 3. All right. Quarter 3 for 2026. All right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So, for quarter 3, we got, July, August, and September. July, August, and September. This is going to be an interesting quarter, given because July is the universal 8 month, and the 8 is all about manifestation. It's all about abundance. It's about risk. It's about infinite opportunities. It's about karma and karmic releasing and stuff. So things that will show up will be very interesting during this time. So the first card that I got for the quarter 3 is the number 35, which is 3 plus 5 is 8, by the way. And it says, turn your worry into wonder. Surrender to the experience. What possibilities can you dream into reality? Like, let's focus in on that. Okay, there we go. What possibilities can you dream into reality? I like how this came up because with the 8 energy, again, and in cohesiveness with this one universal year, you're going to find that it's like the manifestation process is very quick, but it's also very much determinant on like your ability to see in your mind's eye exactly how your life is going to become. And it's literally about how you think about things. That's why I said that one energy is a physical expression of what's going on internally. If you ever seen like 111 and all these like 1 energies in numbers, it's because it's asking you, like your guides and angels are asking you to focus on what it is that you're thinking about and then really transmute that energy. If it's positive, then that's what's going to become your reality. If it's negative, then that's what's going to become your reality. So if you're not thinking positive things, it's not going to happen. So this is why it's like calling you to like turn your worry into wonder. After coming from a 7 universal month in June, is it June that I said? I don't remember. June? Is it July, August, September? Okay, yeah. So after coming from a 7 universal month, you're gonna find that it's like you're like, I'm tired. But you're gonna get a kick of energy. You're gonna get this expression of needing to like really birth something new. And that newness, that thing that's coming in, is really going to need you to nourish it and nurture it and feed it with positive things. Okay, so instead of worrying about the end of the world or anything of that sort, like they're asking you to dream. What possibilities can you dream? Start thinking big. Start imagining bigger. and then let that be what guides you down the path. All is well, it's coming, it's going to be taking place. So just be a little bit patient, but also realize, like, if I'm thinking this and I can create this and I believe it, then it's actually my reality and it's already happened already. So I just need to meet up with that frequency. Boom, that's it. Then the next message is the number 8. Again, number 8. Now, when I channeled the messages of the year prior to starting my calendar, the number 8 was something really big coming up, and that is about like infinity, infinite opportunities, infinite abundance, infinite things that are in this on both positive and negative sides. So the risk that you take, as much as you can take a risk, is the much you can win, you can lose, you can do all this stuff, but it's about really looking at what goes around comes around and how that energy shows up. So this third quarter of the year is really going to show up as like what goes around comes around. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if there were some real big political shifts happening during this time too. So the number 8 is you heal by releasing, not suppressing. What emotions do you need to feel? Okay, that is the card for this second part of the quarter 3. You'll see that this is very important. And also notice that this person is on a solo path, on a labyrinth, and like healing. You heal by releasing, not suppressing. Again, karmic releasing, karmic energy. You are going to need to release some things, and your emotions may come up in this sense of like, okay, what's actually going on? That's why the August being a 9 universal month is going to really call for you to do a lot of releasing. That is the time to do it. And so that's just the reality behind things. I go through each month of my calendar and I give you the full blown out energy around that month, okay, and every month, okay. So if you want to get it, go ahead and it's going to be linked in the description box to get that. But emotions are going to be high. A lot of things are going to be showing up. Please pay attention to how hints of last year will show up in August this year, okay. So pay attention to that. And I say that because there's going to be a lot of political things happening overall. So just like keep in mind that this is what's happening, okay? So then the next message is the number 14, which is forgiveness will set you free. What do you need to forgive yourself for? So on a personal scale, like on a personal level, with the 1 energy, this is going to be kind of a gateway, okay? It's going to be a gateway. It's going to give you, it's kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a rites of passage. That's what it is. So with the 9 energy and the 1 energy back to back, it's all about releasing, healing, moving forward, forgiving yourself, allowing yourself to move forward in a way that you didn't think that you would before because you were holding on to so much weight, whether that is ancestral weight, whether that is like weight of your past, or even karmic weight. So you're going to have to start releasing some of these things and start forgiving yourself for it, okay? Whatever takes place in August, allow it to guide you into how September is going to show up. The moment you decide that you're going to move forward in a different frequency, your body's going to have to adjust to it and your mind is going to have to adjust to it too. So you're not going to be able to keep carrying the same thoughts and beliefs that you were carrying before. Okay, and that means you do have to be mindful of what's around you, who's around you, and what that looks like. Do not be so hard on yourself for being in that you didn't know any better. Okay, like now you know better, you got to do better. That's it. You just got to heal and release and move forward. Okay, let's get an overall message for this quarter. Overall message for the quarter 3 of 2026, and then we'll move on to the next one. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Okay. So the number 77 showed up, and that is the spirituality card. So in the midst of doing this is overall quarter 3 of 2026. In the midst of doing all of this energy work, you're going to be called to do spiritual work on yourself. This is more of a spiritual, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It is spiritual warfare. Okay. It is spiritual warfare. And we are in a time where not only are we physically experiencing changes, and the one energy is bringing that physical manifestation of the ego and the expression of the ego, but we are under spiritual warfare. And so with this coming out during this third quarter of the year, you're going to be called to look into different spiritual modalities, spiritual practices, and different spiritual practitioners who are going to be able to help you during this time. I would highly recommend looking into different energy work or things and different practitioners who can support you, because during this time, the need to release and the need to heal and the need to forgive and the need to do all these things is going to be required to be a focal point for you at this point. So you're going to need to shift your identity and shift your energetic frequency in order to move forward in the next quarter, in the next quarter without resistance, by the way. So spirituality is going to be the overall theme for quarter 3 of 2026. You're going to need to be very very serious about your spiritual health. Okay, the when the energy is very high during this time, because the energy will be very high, that's why these things are showing up, like worry, needing to heal and not suppress, needing to forgive, and do all of these things are going to be very prevalent, simply because there are such things as different entities and things that will latch onto you simply because you are feeling these heavy emotions, and that's what they feed on, So again, a time for us to take our spiritual health very seriously, and our hygiene very seriously, spiritual hygiene and of course physical hygiene. So yeah, that's going to be the message for quarter 3. That's it, quarter 3 of 2026. And let's move on to the last quarter of the year. And we can we can make it work. See what's up. So guys, let's get some energy reads for the last quarter of 2026, quarter 4, which is going to be October, November, December, which is the universal 2, 3, and 4 month. So notice we are hitting the 2 energy again, which is December, January currently, and then you got 3, 4 coming up. So that's the last 3 months of the year. Let's get 2 for quarter 4. Okay, let's see. Whoa. Okay, so we got quarter 4. Let's get one more. Oh, there it is. Use them one. All right now. Okay, so first card that comes out for this is going to be October. October. It's number 18. Number 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. Again, 1 and 8 energy again. So this says your purpose is personal expansion. How can you be more intentional with your choices and live with more purpose? This is the card for that. Take it in. So with that coming up during the 2 universal month, again, 2 energy, pay attention to how you're experiencing this right now. How you're experiencing this right now in January, you're going to be needing to expand. And again, your body has to have the capacity to hold the frequency of the vibration that you're vibrating at right now. So when you are expanding, and that's your goal, that's your purpose, that's the direction, then really nothing can really be shaken in that sense, So when you're expanding, how can you devote that time and energy? How can you move your energy in a way that is very intentional and with alignment? And that's literally like what this calendar is telling you about. This is the universal 2 month. This is October, by the way. But this is like what this calendar helps you with, is like, how can you become more intentional? How can you move with more move in more alignment and with more purpose? So take note of this, because with that 2 energy coming in October, you're going to start feeling the sensitivities of your environment. And so because of that, you're going to need to be very focused on your elevation. You're going to need to be very focused on your protection of your own energy. So be very intentional and move with purpose during this time. October is that time where we're like, okay, it's Halloween time, or it's getting closer to the end of the year. I really want to make sure I make the best of my year, and that's the time that you're really going to be focusing on that energy particularly. The next card we got was number 37, which is Rise Above It. It's not yours to carry. You are an empath. You can't make this up. How can you detach from the drama? How can you detach from the drama? Am I the drama? Am I the drama? So it is important for you to note that during this time, a lot is going to be showing up on the collective scale in this energy. For you personally, you're going to need to really start determining what's yours that you're carrying and what's not yours. You already started doing the work where you were like, getting rid of some of the energy, releasing, forgiving, healing. That doesn't mean stop doing it in quarter four. It means that you need to realize that you're that sensitive. Okay, you were that sensitive that you're carrying so much more of this energy. I would even highly recommend like watching what you're taking in on social media during this time, because it's not all going to be real. That's what I'm hearing. It's not all going to be real. So if it's not real, don't make it real. And also, it's not yours to carry. This is not your responsibility. Okay. Again, balancing out how you show up for yourself and how you show up in the collective. Some people are really going to be feeling this energy of like, I really just need to focus on myself. Other people are going to be really like, I need to be out there and really focusing on the community, and there's a lot to that for both people, both types of people, that they need to realize like some things are just not for them to carry. Okay, it is not yours to carry. So 3 + 7, that's that 1 energy. It's 10. Okay, so what karmic energy are you carrying into this next year? I mean, like in this next month. Okay, so the 3 energy is also about expansion. So just keep in mind that like you're not in a place that, I mean, a lot of people's stuff is going to be impacting you at this point. Okay. Let's see. Then we got the last card that I got was the number 20. And this is also during December, which is a universal 4 month. The number 20, nothing real can be threatened. How can you actively participating in creating heaven on earth? How can you actively participate in creating heaven on earth? Because nothing real can be threatened. This coming out as the last card for the year is going to be it's very good, because at this point, at some point throughout the year, you're going to realize like, the real is going to recognize real. The real is going to see and be and forever be real. And there's nothing that can really threaten that. So it's a recognition of your power, a realization of your power. So now that you are understanding your power, you're going to have to, and I can't even make this up, because I'm pulling cards right now, but like I want y'all to see what December looks like in the calendar. This is what December looks like in about your power. Okay, like I mean, you really can't make it up. It is like, who are you? Who are you going to be? How are you going to move? And how are you going to stand in your power? How are you going to reclaim your power? And how are you going to create harmony in this world, in your physical plane? So what happens is a lot of people don't realize that their energy and their reality is not shifting with what they think it should be shifting as. It's not, their reality isn't changing, because internally they are not recognizing their own power. So anything real, like nothing real can be threatened. And when you realize your power, you can create a new reality. You can create a new heaven on earth. And it's not about like ignoring the realities of certain things that are taking place in the world right now. It is more so about highlighting and focusing on the type of energy that you want for yourself, the type of life that you want to create for yourself. And the more we focus on that is the more we are able to build that. You get what I'm saying? So the 2 and the 0, and we talked about 2 and 0 earlier. The 2 and the 0 as in 20 is also just like a strong indication that there are infinite opportunities for you to shift your reality. It's infinite opportunities to connect with other people and really start building and planting the seeds of what you want heaven on earth to look like in your life. Okay, can't speak too much on everybody else, but I will speak on it. If you're listening to me right here, this is where you're going to be going in that direction. Okay, and then let's get one last overall message for the last quarter of 2026. What's the overall message for the last quarter of 2026? Number 87, synchronicity. Synchronicity. Ain't that something? So when this card comes out, it's really, it is 87. Okay, so like when this card comes out, it's really talking about how things are starting to align up. Okay, synchronicity isn't something that is just like, oh, it's a coincidence, because we don't do coincidences here. We don't do that. We don't do, oh, it just kind of happens. It doesn't mean anything. No, it's called synchronicity. Things are going to start becoming in more alignment as we were talking about it. Like things are going to becoming more in alignment when you start seeing the synchronicities. Okay, synchronicities of like being in the right place at the right time, being in the right space at the right time, like seeing the right people at the right time, you know, and really starting to like see the physical manifestations of the energetic shifts that you're making, and spiritual shifts that you're making, and the mental shifts that you're making, the belief systems that you're releasing. All of that stuff is going to start showing up, and the synchronicities are going to be what is really a definite signal of like what's moving for you. Okay, so if you are experiencing that shift, if you're really looking at how you want to move forward and you're just like, I need to be in alignment, I need to move forward in alignment, then this is that you're going to start seeing the end by the end of this year, how that is showing up for you. Okay, how you've been moving in that direction. So make the decisions that you need to make now. Make the decisions to really focus on yourself and focus on how you can balance out the collective energy and your personal energy. Like look and focus on these things. If you are interested in getting the Essence of Alignment calendar, wall calendar, this will be linked in my description box below. If you are looking to really start utilizing your spiritual work and dream work, and wanting to focus on connecting with your dreams and your ancestors and your guides through your dreams, and healing and doing all of these things through your dreams, I am hosting my Dream Warrior coaching program. It's the second cohort. We will be beginning in March of 2026. So I will link that in the bottom of my description box, and you're going to just check it out and see how it aligns for you. In that space, we're going to be focusing on using our dreams and practicing using our dreams to transmute energy, heal, and connect and transform your life in general. Okay, this is not a time for us to really be willy-nillying it and just like going with the flow. This is time for us to be very intentional and become very much aligned. So if that's something that is aligned for you, go ahead and click the link in the description box and I will see you there. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you please like and subscribe and share this with your people. Share these messages with your people. And I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for dealing with my technical difficulties. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you again, and I hope you have an amazing 2026. Don't forget to put in the comments exactly what you're experiencing and what you feel, and I will see you next time. So bye.